What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. It is Monday, February 17th, and it's President's Day. So I got off work today, took advantage of using most of the day to work on last week's vlog, continue to edit. Still a big learning process for me, so I'm not the most efficient with the editing process. And so hoping to get that out tonight, which I'm really excited to do. As far as the rest of the day, I just started my bike workout, as you guys can see. I'm on this for about an hour. It's called Bike Endurance Workout. So I'm sure it's going to break me down a good amount by the end of my workout, but it's all good. I finished the weekend, I should say, with a rest day on Sunday, and woke up, and I think for maybe the first time ever, my Garmin training readiness had me at 100. So I was like, I need to take advantage of the day today. Normally a Monday would be a recovery run, but moved some things around with the plan. Figured we'd get after it today. Just kick the week off as far as how last week went with taking things kind of slower. So, like I said, getting after it today, going from the cycle to a run. So doing a brick session today, a little different than what I normally do because it is about 18 degrees out right now, with the wind chill and everything, and not super comfortable in optimal running weather, especially to get off the bike. I feel like that's just not a good mixture for success. So once I get off the bike, I'm gonna very quickly change, get in my car, drive to the gym, do my 3-mile run on the treadmill there. Maybe sauna, hopefully sauna, that'd be great. Outside of that, just trying to meal prep today, get some things done today. Look forward to having only a 4-day week, but I always like to use the Monday of a 4-day week to kind of like get myself extra prepared so I can also go into next weekend a little bit ahead. So we'll see how well I set myself up for the week as far as that goes, because I also like to enjoy days like this to relax at home with my fiance. But as I'm ramping up into the next interval of my bike workout, I'll catch up with you guys later. Gonna get some footage of me on my bike. Not super exciting stuff for you guys probably, so I'll keep it short. But here's to another week, here's to another vlog.
Waiting for you to shine. People passing me
going on, guys? We made it to Friday. I have a long run on the docket today. It is 1 hour straight, no interval. Easy run, supposedly. That's what it's called. Don't know how easy it's gonna be. This is my first time doing a run that's gonna be an hour in duration with no walking intervals. I'm a little excited to attack it. On the other hand, as you may be able to tell, it is windy. The temperature right now is 33 degrees. The real feel is 23 degrees. I'm bundled, it's cold. We're gonna hit the run nonetheless. I'm gonna get some footage for you guys. We'll see how it goes. I have a lift tonight, and I'll talk to you guys then. What is going on, guys? So, I lied. I did not get any running footage for you guys. That's on me. I thought I'd be able to. I brought the camera out with me and everything. The only problem was, given how cold it was, I was wearing gloves. I was using my watch to have a course for the first time. I pre-programmed a course, so I was constantly looking down at my watch to make sure I was turning onto the right streets. And all in all, just didn't really have the opportunity to pull out the camera. To be honest with you, there wasn't many great sights on the run. I will probably be a little bit more cautious of how I use Garmin's course making system. You can put your start point in and put the mileage you want to cover, and it will make a course for you, which is great. But around where I live, there's a lot of back roads, which are good to run on. The downside is you're kind of always turning. And if you want to go down straight roads, they're pretty busy. And as you get kind of up towards King of Prussia, north of where I'm at, you have these very busy roads that also have no sidewalk and no strip to actually even run on. So I ended up running on some pretty dangerous roads, which played a big part into why the camera never came out. It was also one of the hilliest runs that I've ever done. So that sucked because it was supposed to be an easy run. To come full circle on the day today and kind of the overall theme of the video. 1 year ago today is when I tore my ACL. I had this day in my calendar, knew it was coming up. So today there was definitely a weird feeling in the air. I was able to take some time to reflect on everything that's led to this point. And there's been a lot. There's been a lot of hardships along the way. A year ago, I was walking around on crutches. And today I ran the longest I've ever ran in my life. For those who don't know, it was literally the third face-off of the game, of the second game of our season. And I just remember being crushed. To work for something your whole life, I guess most of my life, and have it end the way it did was so confusing at the time. I think that, and I probably do it more than most, but I think a lot of people look to have that storybook ending. And for me, having a really weird college lacrosse career, my freshman year, I went to Stevenson University, played a couple games there, not much. Transferred after my freshman year, which is already not a common path, to Eastern. My first season at Eastern was when COVID hit. And we had a total of 5 games that season. And I also didn't play, really. I got in a little bit. But I didn't really play until my junior year. And even that season was a conference-only season because we were still dealing with the post-COVID effects. And so my senior year of college was the first true, real season that I had. And I had a great season. It was a great year. The following year, I was able to do a fifth year. The job that I got out of college, which I'm still at the same company, full-time in financial services, allowed me the flexibility to shift my day earlier during lacrosse season so I could get to practice. And I used PTO for games my fifth year. And I don't know how I did it because I was also starting my MBA. So I was doing my master's degree, my fifth year of lacrosse, and working a full-time job as an operations analyst in a financial services firm. And it was a successful year. I played well. Our team had a pretty good season. And that was just the second year. Like, I'm already out of my 4 years of undergrad, and that was the second year that I had to play. That was going to be it. That whole season, I was playing like it was going to be my last. And because I did have another year of eligibility, things happened with my job. I switched to another team. The other team was willing to be flexible with my schedule. My coach was willing to be super flexible because at this point, I was a 24-year-old adult playing college lacrosse, which is like funny to say and like an ongoing joke with my team, and I get laughed at about it, but it is what it is. Everybody has their own path. And so, like, that was the year. Like, this was the year. And all fall, I'm going to team workouts, guys on the team, even my coach is telling me, like, hey, man, like, you have a full-time job. Like, you don't have to be, we know you work out. Like, we know you run. Like, you don't have to come to the team stuff. And still, like, I did because it was just that important to me. And I loved being with my team. Like, I believe if you're going to do something, you have to be all in. And spring comes around, preseason comes around. I'm transitioning into my new team, work team, and the season starts. We play the first game of the season. We win. It's the first time our program has won the first game of the season in like 8 years. I had a goal. I did well at the face-off X. Promising start to the year. Like, we were all pretty excited. We beat a good team. Game 2, first couple face-offs, I go out. Everything seems normal. It's a normal game. We're in a close one. Third face-off, land weird, ACL torn, lacrosse career over. Like I said, just not what you expect. When you go down a path, you expect, you know, this is it for me. This is the last year. Like, I've done the training. I've done the work. Now it's time to reap what I've sown. But what my injury taught me, among a lot of things, was that as much as you want to think that your hard work and your input is going to equal your output, it doesn't. Hard work does not guarantee success. But I don't believe that you can gain success without hard work. And in a way, that makes sports great. That's why I'm like a sports romantic, because you can work your ass off and still not win the important game. There's still that level of chance. There's still that level of not knowing. But you still have to put in the work, not knowing. Looking back at a year ago, I had no idea why this had happened to me. And I remember praying, God, why? Why now? Why me? Why this situation? What are you setting me up for? And it wasn't until like 4 or 5 months into my recovery that I set my sights on doing this Ironman. But now when I look back at a year ago, as much as it would have been cool to be able to be there for my team and play that season, I do believe that God has a way of setting you up for something even bigger. And I'm not even saying that this half Ironman that I'm training for is that bigger thing. But I know that I was taught so much from what I went through, and to be able to stand on the other side a year later, doing things physically that I have never done before tearing my ACL. I feel so blessed by all of the support that I've received through my recovery, for my two amazing PTs, Ross and Allie, for like getting me to this point. And I just know that if my life was a chart, that path is going up. And I don't know where it goes to, and that's okay, and that's kind of the point. And I think what excites me about this Ironman, going back to what I was saying, is that I've put in all this work. It's been a year since I've torn my ACL. I'm running more than I ever have. I'm doing things that I'd never done before. Things are trending upwards. I'm working my butt off. And I still don't know if I'm going to cross the finish line. There's no guarantee. If I work as hard as I can, if I literally even went out and swam 1.5 miles, biked 60 miles, ran 13 miles, knowing I could do that, that does not guarantee that I cross the line on race day. And to me, that's exciting. To some people, you might be like, dude, if you don't cross the finish line after like a year of training and all this talk, like, I don't know what you did it for. I'd probably be pretty upset too. But again, going back to the main message, not allowing things that set you back keep you back. Not allowing your previous version of yourself, me being a 6-year lacrosse player that had hopes to be successful and do whatever we had planned or wanted to do with our season that year, I'm not still that person. That ship, in a way, has sailed. And I'm at peace with that because I'm going in that positive direction. And a year from now, I might be on a completely different ship. And that's okay, too. So, anyway, I'm going to end my ramble at this point. I hope that, like, with as few people that actually watch this video, if my message can be something that you take with you, and like as cliche as it sounds, like if it could inspire one person, that honestly brings me so much reward. Sitting in front of a camera in my car on a Friday night at 9:30 post gym session, talking about things that happened a year ago, it's not a path for everyone, and it's a new path for me. And so I just think, like, in a way, I'm doing this vlogging, I'm doing this training for myself, but in another way, I want to show whoever is going to see this that if you're stuck right now, like if you feel like you're not sure what's next for yourself, that's okay. And nothing that you do, hard work, is going to guarantee you to be in a better place. But you've got to at least put that first foot forward. You've got to trust yourself, and you got to trust God. Because if one thing got me through all of this mess, it's knowing that God puts you exactly where you need to be. I know that I'm exactly where I need to be right now. And it's okay if I don't understand that, and it's okay if you don't understand that. Sometimes you have to close your eyes and trust. And that's what got me to this point. So being able to look back at the times when I closed my eyes and just trusted, and seeing the success that I'm having now, having that come full circle and then being able to share that message, it's very rewarding. I feel very blessed by it. And yeah, so I'm going to send this over to the gym session that I just had, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Good morning, guys. It is Sunday, and I am headed to Lifetime Fitness right now, not my normal gym, to go to a swim workout. So, funny story. Yesterday, I was at the Eastern lacrosse game, got a big win against Ursinus, so that was fun. And while I'm sitting there, I felt a tap on my shoulder, and believe it or not, my coach, who has two sons on the team, the Williamsons, actually came to the game. So my coach and her two sons live in Texas, and while they're obviously up here playing lacrosse, it was kind of a big trip for their mom to come up and watch them play. I didn't know, and so she tapped me on the shoulder and she was like, "Oh, hey." And we were able to talk for a while, and it was really cool. I have met her before, multiple times, but not since I started training. So it was cool to be able to start talking to her in person about everything going on with the training. And I guess she's going to be here for the weekend or until the end of the day today, or I'm not totally sure when she's flying back. But she said that if I met her at Lifetime Fitness this morning, which is this really, really nice gym, for those of you who don't know, out here in King of Prussia, we could look at my swim form, go over some of the drills that I'm doing that I'm probably not doing super well. And I was like, that would be awesome. So right now, I'm headed to do my swim workout of the day with her. What is going on, guys? So we reached the end of the vlog, and it was a very weird week. Didn't get everything done that I wanted to get done, to be completely honest. Didn't get through all the workouts. Don't feel great about that. On one hand, just because, you set out to do something, you have the plan of doing these workouts, and coming up short at all is going to suck, no matter what. But the other side of it, too, is I just started doing these vlogs, and week 2, it's another week of not being totally on point with them. It's probably not the greatest look for anybody that's watching this that, doesn't necessarily follow my training. That being said, I kind of wanted to take the end of this video, not to go super long, but just to kind of explain what's been going on in my personal life that's been affecting just work and my workouts, my training. Honestly, my posting on Instagram too has kind of dropped a little bit. So, as I was talking about in the last blog,
a week and a half ago now, Michaela, my fiance, and I got some pretty rough news that our cat Finn, who we have had for 2 years now, got sick. And it was something that they thought potentially could have began even before we adopted him 2 years ago. And without getting into like super specifics about it, apparently cats don't always show that they're sick until they're like really, really sick. And so after doing lab work on Finn, we found out that there was a lot wrong, and he was kind of at the point where there wasn't much that they could do to help him. So, that was pretty crushing to Michaela and I. For those of you who don't know us super personally, Finn is literally like our third roommate. He's been kind of our soul animal and just the best cat that we could have ever asked for. And so just to get that news crushed us. I mean, Finn, he's 5 years old, so not an old cat, not getting close to the end. Age-wise, just this very sudden sickness, and it just rocked our world. And like as simply as I can put it, as much as I would love to be a super consistent discipline no matter what gets thrown my way, like I'm not perfect. Very, very extremely human. And so getting that news, just like motivation was out the window, trying to like wrap my head around what the point of even doing this training is while like our poor animal is slowly dying is some of the things that I was facing, and honestly still am. So the other thing too was just that getting that news, Michaela and I both just made it our goal to spend as much time with Finn as we possibly could. And so anything outside of work, literally, was like, let's watch a show with Finn. Like, let's watch a movie with Finn. What can we do? If he wanted to get up onto his cat tree and look out the window, we would sit there and we would look out the window with him and just take in those last memories. And so last Friday, back up a few days. Last week, towards the beginning to midweek, he really started to get to that point. And so Friday is when he ultimately passed away. And so again, like this week, it's kind of, I am moving forward. I am moving in a positive direction. I'm not staying stagnant, so to say, mentally. But that's what's been kind of getting in the way of being on this like consistent grind that I've been on for the past 3 to 4 months. And honestly, now that I've kind of given all the details out of it and heard myself talk, all of this is to say, which was the point of the last video, that I am giving myself grace. Like, I hope that no one's watching this with like a horrified look on their face saying like, oh my God, he's talking about his training grind in relation to something much, much bigger. And what I'm getting at is that is the point of what I'm trying to say, that I'm not going hard on myself. I'm not allowing myself to like mentally be burdened by missing some training, having a couple off weeks, because this is just a much bigger thing to me. and making sure that my mental health and how I'm taking it and dealing with grief, as well as being there for Michaela and her own path with it, is my priority right now. I know 2-3 weeks from now, after I've built back up, I'll be at that point again. I'm not worried about it. I'm not concerned about that. So right now, just kind of taking the time, letting the days come a little bit. And like I was saying in the last video, you know, even on a day where like you want to do absolutely nothing, maybe even just going out for a walk, going and doing one of my favorite workouts as opposed to what's on the schedule for the day. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And, you know, as I record this video, it's a Monday night. I did the same thing last week. Closing out the vlog on a Monday, posting on a Tuesday. So as you guys see this, I'm already building into the next week. As a preview, today I had a brick session. The weather was beautiful, so I got outside for it. But I'll get to that in the next video. So anyway, I've talked a lot this video. It didn't go the way I planned from the beginning of the week. I didn't get as much action in it as I did last week. But I hope you'll stick along with me as I continue to build in this journey. I'm going to get more film. It's tough, to be honest with you. I thought getting this camera and fully diving in, I would kind of develop this level of like, oh, cool, I'm doing this workout. Like, let me just pop this out. But I am finding, as I talked about on my run, that at some points where I have to lock in and just do the workout, I can't also be thinking about, oh, what shot can I get that's going to make this look good? I think it'll come with time. I think that it will get easier and therefore simpler to just pop out the camera and start recording and getting some cool clips. But at the same time, don't take this personally, guys, but I am way more focused on completing that Ironman 70.3 in June than I am right now with like making quality content. So I'm doing the best I can. I'm getting some stuff. It's going to be more. And like I said, I hope you guys will continue to follow along. Stay tuned for next week, or technically this week. I start to confuse myself when I start to talk between the future blog that technically started today, despite me recording this blog. Anyway, you guys get it. So, like I said, I hope you guys are still interested. I hope you guys are still going to follow along. I'm going to keep building. We're going to keep growing. We're going to get some more cool content. Stay tuned for next week's video. And until then, I'll catch you guys later.